Hi, it's Jane. Let me straighten you up a little bit. Not much. It's been an interesting evening, day. It is cloudy outside, so I'm not sure if this is going to show up dark or not, even though I have the ring light on behind me and some lights on over here. It seems to be normal, but sometimes when I put it into the computer, it comes out so dark. It's not even funny. I don't know what's going on. I'm still working on the lighting issues here because there's really not enough lighting in this living room whatsoever. The ceiling fan, the light is real dim, so it doesn't provide much. Slept last night till about 3:45. Woke up to sounded like banging on the door. It was the door next door. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about that group over there, but and I know I wear earplugs at night because I can hear them vacuuming at midnight and doing all kinds of things. So normally that muffles it, but this was like really loud, like it was right by my bedroom door, which is where their upstairs area is at. So I don't know what was going on over there. When I saw her this morning, I made mention of it. I said, I don't know what goes on over there, but got an awful lot of loud noises early in the morning. Could you try to keep it down a little bit? Because frankly, I'm getting tired of being woke up 4 o'clock in the morning, those kind of things, even with the earplugs in. So, I don't know. Anyway, so this morning I went and did laundry at the laundromat because I don't have a washing machine yet. I am looking at getting one of those washer-dryer combos. Like I said, I still need to measure the door to see if it'll fit through the door where the laundry, the hookups for the washer is. And then I also need to be able to be sure that I think you have to clean out the water filter every couple of months or monthly, something like that. But you don't really need a vent. So that's a good positive thing because though I don't have to worry about them having to put a vent in or whatnot. But I had realized quite a few of my compression socks that I have all have runs in them, which defeats the purpose of them. So I kind of cleared those out and I'm down to just a few. So I needed to stop and get some more. Plus I had to pick up a couple of prescriptions. So I went to Walmart and they have, for women, they have Muckluck. And I thought I would try those. Now I'm going to show you these. These are two different pairs. This pink one is for regular calf. The blue is for white calf. Funny how they look exactly the same. So I'm going to give both of them a try. And they have cute little prints, which is nice because the ones that I've been using are the black ones that are basically for men. Just because some of the women's ones that they had were extremely small, extremely tight, and they just didn't fit well. Got a snag on my nail. So this weekend was the concert out the lighthouse, and while I was out there, I made a couple of scrunchies. That's it for finished projects this week. Yippee. I still have one that I had started, hadn't finished. So I'll work on that while we're talking, that kind of thing. The interesting part, I think I told you yesterday about the kid that I normally give the ride to the concerts, and how he'd said, "Oh no, I'm not going today," after harassing me and all kinds of things. Going with the bingo guy. That it kind of set off something in me that I thought, really need to do some prayer about this, whether or not I need to continue to give him rights. And a lot of it has been just the way that he behaves and some of the things he does. I was told he does not have Asperger's. He is autistic, but he was never taught any manners. And I have, over the past year, tried to teach him manners, explain to him why you need to say thank you to people, that kind of thing. But did learn from one of the ladies that used to always take him that his father used to, after the concerts, want them to take him to Burger King. And so they would stop at Burger King and generally just, they would get an ice cream cone, that kind of thing. And oftentimes it was to eat a meal, and his father would pay for everybody's meal. Well, this fellow, after his father died, had wanted this gal to continue to do that, and she just was not willing to do that anymore. And I honestly don't blame her. So anyway, in basically the long run of the whole story, I found out some other things, and there are a couple of things that had bothered me about him sitting in church, because he generally sits by me, which he doesn't need to sit by me just because I'm giving him a ride. But he would sit by me. There's another one that's finished. Love this yarn. But, and I've told him before, you don't need to sit by me. Just because I was taking you to the concert and whatnot. Don't feel you have to. But what I found as well is, yes, he does have an aunt here in town. She does as little as possible with him because of his behavior and the way that he is. And I had asked, does he have someone who looks after his case, that kind of things, because he is on disability. And she said, no, there's no one assigned. So, okay, that should be remedied because he apparently cannot handle himself at all at home on his own. So, it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. But, I also found out that he has done this to quite a few people, in the way that he behaves. And the gal that had been taking him and his father home from the concerts and that kind of stuff, she told me, I told her, I said, I think I'm just done. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of, like I said yesterday, I woke up with all those messages and just almost harassment when he doesn't get his way, almost to the point of being abusive. And so I told her, I said, I'm about ready to stop giving him rides. And then come to find out, there's a girl that lives across the street from him that could take him home. So anyway, this morning I sent him a text message and I told him from now on he would have to get a ride from someone else to and from the concert because I was no longer willing to do it. I explained to him that over the past year and a half, I've talked with him repeatedly about his behavior and about how he should thank people who do things for him. And I just didn't feel I could do it anymore because I've reached a point where I get angry thinking about having to come pick you up. The other thing is, you are now out of the way for me. I have to go out of my way to come pick you up, and there's someone that lives right across the street you could ride with. So, did tell him that and said that I was really sorry to come to this. I'd also talked to him several times about when he's sitting in church and starts looking at porn, that's inappropriate. And I was just done with helping out in this case. And I've had non-stop messages, verbal abuse, whatnot, since from him. So I have blocked him both on the phone as well as through Facebook Messenger and everywhere else. And this is typical behavior for him when he does not get his way. He is a grown man. There's no excuse for that kind of behavior. And one of his friends told me there's no reason that he can't give you, $10 a month to help with gas. And I said, that's not the issue. The issue is his behavior and his ungratitude and not even thanking me, plus not even paying attention that my name isn't Jan, it's Jane. So, do I feel better about it? Definitely. I am just done. And it feels good. Just be done with it. I know that at church he will probably come harass me, give me a hard time, but that's just too bad. Done. So anyway, there's that part of it that's done with. I did go over to Walmart to pick up a few things besides the knee highs, compression socks. One of them were a couple of prescriptions, and one of them, it's a high copay. And, of course, when you get there, they're going to, first thing out of their mouths is, you do know how high the copay is. Yes, I do, unfortunately. So, but I picked up a couple of other things. The shower that is upstairs really has no place for you to really put your shampoo, body wash, washcloth, anything like that. So I picked up one of those shower pull things to go in there. There's not a whole lot of shelving in the bathroom, like for extra things, like some of the towels, that kind of thing. So I did pick up one of those over the toilet shelving things. So that'll help a little bit. And of course, I see my cats chasing sky kites. I'm telling you, they have been a hoot. And Ronan is actually just loving being able to get up on the bookshelves. He did get a little freaked out because I moved one of the bookshelves in here into the living room. And he was like, I can't walk across them now. I think he was planning on jumping from the one bookcase that I moved from this wall here because there's like an archway to walk through into the living room, the other bathroom, and the other two bedrooms. And then almost catty corner is where my dresser is. And I think, because watching him, it looked like he kept eyeing it to figure out how he could jump from the bookshelf across to the chest. So, I mean, I think I'm reading that cat's mind right. Not positive, but I think he's a little perturbed that I thwarted his plan. He'll get over it. But anyway, the house is coming real nice and slow. I would like it to come through a little bit faster, but I have a lot of things to do, so I'm just working on doing them slowly and getting it done. I have a while to be here, so I am kind of impatient. I would like things to be put in their place and where they're going to go and not have to worry about it. But that's not happening as fast as I would like it to, unfortunately. So, what are you guys working on? I did put the blanket away just for the moment, just because I'm wanted to get this yarn used up. And I wanted something smaller while I went to the concerts because I don't want to have to drag along a big blanket, that kind of thing. Now, the group that was singing with us there this evening were the Cragans, and I absolutely love this family. They do a great job with singing. It's the father, his son, daughter-in-law, and her niece. And then they also have two children, Grant and Scarlett, that are, I think, 11 and 9, that also join them for a couple of songs throughout the evening. Child labor laws, that kind of thing. I think you can do 15 minutes every hour. So they do 15 minutes 1 hour, and another probably 15 the second half hour that they're out on stage. But they were telling us I think it was last week, there was this real big severe storm. And a tent had collapsed at one of their concerts. They were the venue. And unfortunately, there was one man that died. And there are 22 people that are still in the hospital. But even throughout this concert and whatnot, they had a great testimony. Their children, Grant and Scarlett, were sitting next to this man that died. He died protecting these two from being injured. So that in itself is a big testimony. Someone else willing to lay down their life for your children. But the niece, Denicia Innocent, she fractured her foot in that tent collapse, and she was still performing last night. So they're on their way back to their home in Cincinnati, Ohio, where she will then get some surgery to correct the foot and all that kind of stuff. But right now, she's kind of just limping along and continuing with the concert series. So anyway, that was one of those interesting things that happened at the concert last evening. So, all right. This one is finished. See, these don't take long. That's why I like them. The worst part is having to weave in the ends. and that's not really hard. These are nice little scrunchies to go with the Operation Christmas Child. I'm gonna put you on hold for a minute. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on around here. I have to tell you, it feels kind of weird to have a cat staring at you from the top of a bookshelf. But I guess we'll have to get used to it, right? So, I've been trying to decide where to hang pictures in here. Because there's quite a few spots on the wall where paint has been taken off, that kind of thing, and I would like to cover those spots up. Simply because I honestly don't think that this woman is going to come through and provide paint to be painted. Just a sneaky suspicion. So I'll have to decide if I actually want to pay for the painting myself or just let it go and learn to live with it. So, anyway, it's kind of what I'm looking at doing right now and that kind of stuff, and we'll just see what happens out of it. I'm ready to start another scrunchie, and I don't know if I told you, I found a box that had a bunch of scrunchies in it that are unmade, and had a good laugh about that, and then found another box with some more scrunchies, put them all together, and then even after we put them all together and packed them up to be moved, found another package that had 10 more scrunchies to be crocheted in the office. The old house, so yeah, had quite a few laughs around that. I don't think I need to buy scrunchies for probably at least 2 years. Maybe not that few, but I have plenty of scrunchies to work some crochet magic around. And I will be doing that, but it has been rather interesting finding all those scrunchies and realizing, was I just buying them and made a few and then put them away and forgot about them, or what? Need to get a lot more organized. Definitely need to get a lot more organized. And I think I told you yesterday, I purchased some new camera batteries with a charger. And I knew the minute that I did that I would find them, and yeah, I found them yesterday, just before the ones I had ordered from Amazon showed up. So now I have lots of batteries, all nice and charged. That's a positive thing, if you ask me. But, scatterbrain, what can I say? Stuff happens. All right, let's get into the news. Oh, my. I have never seen so much obnoxious behavior from the left over a Republican president. So many threats and attempts to kill President Trump. So many threats against him. There's 8647 that's all over the place. Everybody keeps putting in the lawns and all kinds of things. Do I think you should be charged? Yeah. I think if, let's say, 48 happens to be a Democrat and you start putting that all around, I think you should be charged. I don't think the party affiliation should matter. It is a threat. Everyone knows it's a threat. And it's uncalled for and unseemly. But on top of that, we see a lot on the left threatening to rape Melania, to kill, rape, to kill the children, all kinds of things. And I'm like, jealousy is extremely harmful to your soul. So I hope people have a change of heart in the way that they behave. Do I care that you don't like the president? No. There's been presidents that we've had that I didn't like. But I tried to criticize only the things that I thought they did that harmed the public. You know, with the exception of Obama. He reminded me of my ex, who was always pontificating and lecturing. And that annoyed me. It reminded me of that on a daily basis. So, even though I tried to listen to his speeches with an open mind, I would hear that, my ex-husband's voice, and that attitude and that arrogance, and I'd have to turn it off. But anyway. So I would hope that, like I said, people would look inward and see that they're letting their hate destroy themselves as well. All right. Let's see. The biggest news that I saw was that Hamas is dissolving the Gaza government amid the ceasefire that they have got going on that was brokered by the U.S. Apparently, they're going to transfer the power to a technical committee that is backed by the UN. Now, they have not said whether they are willing to disarm or not. Now, Israel has said that there will be no rebuilding of Gaza until Hamas disarms. I don't blame them. Seriously, don't blame them. But we'll see how that plays out over the next couple of months. You know? And hopefully they will disarm and learn to be better neighbors. I guess. I don't know. Oh, crazy. Sometimes I have to wonder about things going on in the world. Sometimes it just makes you go, huh? I guess Taylor and Travis Kelce got married. Big whoop. Madison Square Garden. Talking about a venue. I saw a small video where they were, I'm assuming this is after they had said their vows, walking down the aisle. Each of them had a glass of champagne in their hands. But I did think it was interesting. When I was reading the article about it, apparently she had a montage of her music playing while she was getting married, walking down the aisle or something like that. I don't know, that seems kind of weird, but whatever. She had a very strict dress code, black tie affair. Although she allowed her friend Ed Sheeran to be himself, and which is a positive thing for him. So, yeah, whatever. But yep, they do. They got married. Now, we've not heard a lot of the things about the Ebola lately, and I will tell you, the latest thing that I read is that the death toll from the Ebola in Ataru, I think that's how you pronounce it, Ataru, Tiru, is 500. They have 1,500 confirmed cases. But they're looking at a bigger problem, and it's that the healthcare workers are ready to go on strike. They have not been paid since this outbreak began. They're wanting to be paid. But not only that, they want better working conditions. In many cases, they don't have enough supplies, those kind of things. Does that sound familiar? Remember when that was going on with the COVID? So anyway, and this is all right about the time there has been an experimental drug that they think will help heal these folks with this special type of Ebola. It is in the trial phase, so they've had a lot of people volunteer to take that, but you have to have people to administer it. So if the healthcare workers walk out, you're not going to get that, and we'll probably see that death toll rise even further, which is sad. Speaking of death toll, saw where in Venezuela the death toll is up to over 3,000. A lot of people are blaming the death toll on the fact that Cesar Chavez and Maduro both ignored the socialist housing. It was very low-grade housing, and they ignored the problems with it, and they think that's the reason the death toll is so high, because they shouldn't have collapsed that easily. So that's kind of sad to see that. But then on that front, there's a lot of, quite a few videos of some folks in Venezuela that are upset with some of the things that have been sent to them. Anyway, many people, many countries have responded. So anyway, they are upset with the fact that the clothing, shoes, some of that kind of stuff is used. Some of the videos I've seen, they're complaining because they wanted things that were brand new. New shoes, new bags, new clothing with the tags still on them. And that's kind of sad because sometimes you have to make do with what you have the ability to get. We all have to do that from time to time. Unfortunately, even here in the U.S., if there is a fire or disaster, Salvation Army steps in. Goodwill oftentimes will donate clothing. But most especially in the past, it's been Salvation Army that steps up and provides things like housing things and those kind of things to get them back on their feet until they can get their insurance payouts or whatever to get back on their feet, clothing included. And I would always find it amazing how ungrateful people are for even the little bit of assistance that you would get. So, just found those videos to be kind of interesting, to be seeing those, and it's like, what? You got no home to go back to live to. You've got no way to get your clothing. Someone offers you jeans, shirts, socks, underwear, all that kind of stuff. And you're going to complain about it? I mean, I don't I just don't understand, this kind of mentality. But anyway. And there is also FIFA drama that is going on. There is is he Haitian or Nigerian? There is one of the U.S. star team members, Bologun, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's born, I don't know if it's Nigerian or Haiti. His parents were here on a visa, although they're now naturalized citizens. But he is a birthright American. And he's playing on this team. And in one of the games, can't remember who they were playing against, it looked like he had stepped on someone's ankle. And so the referee red carded him. When they went back and looked at a lot of the video, they determined it was not malicious, looked like it was accidental. But the big kerfuffle is President Trump had asked them to review that because he thought it was a horrible call for this player to be red carded. When you're red carded in soccer, what happens is you're immediately withdrawn from that game, and then you cannot play the next game. And the next game is against Belgium. So anyway, and he'd asked FIFA to review it, but he would, he'd go with whatever their judgment call was. It wasn't, he was pressuring them. He just asked them and said it was a bad call. So they reviewed it and they determined, yes, it was a bad call. So they're allowing him to play in the Belgium game. That's part of the big kerfuffle. So Belgian authorities are going to challenge that decision over rescinding the red card. Sometimes you have to wonder what these folks are going through, what they're doing, that kind of thing. Why they feel like it's okay to take on this kind of thing and mess with that kind of stuff, So, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about them, how they're going to handle those kind of things and whatnot. But hopefully they'll get it all straightened out within the next couple of weeks, that kind of stuff. So, one can hope, right? I don't know what else to tell you about that, but I do find it interesting, the whole thing, just because Trump had asked him to review it. So now there's this big thing that the fix is in for the U.S. to win. I don't think that's a possibility at all, but sometimes you have to wonder about those guys and what they're thinking, that kind of stuff. Now, there was a gentleman that was in ICE custody that was a former Afghan ally. He actually fought with the U.S. troops against the Afghanis, and came to the U.S. Then he was picked up by ICE. They're saying he died in ICE custody, which is kind of questionable because part of it has to do with the whole issue with what they found. Now, the reason he was in ICE custody is because he was picked up on food stamp fraud and theft and something else, which automatically rescinds your permanent or even semi-permanent visa status with the U.S. and gives them a reason to deport you. So, it's just things that happen. But Anyway, this fellow had trouble breathing, and he has asthma, so he was sent to Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas. And there, while he was eating breakfast, he had an allergic reaction to something that he was eating, they think. But the autopsy that was performed showed that there was also some methamphetamine use, and he also had heart disease as well as the asthma. I can't remember what the other one was. Something else. There was something else that he had. But anyway, that's the result of the, even with good nursing care, if it's determined that you are in an active anaphylaxis shock syndrome reaction to an allergen, you can be given epinephrine as soon as possible, but you can still die. So this is what had happened with this fellow. He had actually, they could not reverse the anaphylaxis, regardless of doing everything that they had to do with resuscitating him, epinephrine, and all of that. They just could not get his airway clear enough and save his life. It happens, unfortunately. So, but the wife is questioning why they wouldn't allow her to give him his asthmatic devices when he was taken into custody, and they're questioning the report because they haven't got the report. I can tell you most likely part of it's because they don't have the drug analysis back yet. That generally takes 3 to 4 months. When my daughter died, it took 4 months to get that back. It all goes to like one of 2 labs in the U.S. to be determined if there's any kind of drugs in the system that are illicit or anything else, or if that's the reason for the cause of death. So, yeah, it's sad that this fellow lost his life. But then again, he turned around and done something that was illegal that basically set him up to be deported. So, I don't know. And I think the way the coroner had ruled it was that it was an accidental death. My daughter's death was called accidental. Even with everything they knew and all the issues going on, it was considered accidental. Because there wasn't anything you could do to stop it, to prevent it, or to fix it. So, I don't know. Just kind of sad to see those kind of things happen. All right, folks, I think that is it for today. I am going to let you go. I still have quite a few things I need to get put away, and I need to get those done. So I will see you again probably tomorrow, hopefully. I have quite a busy day tomorrow, too. In between a Bible study and having to go shop and find a recliner that's comfortable, as well as also look at the washer-dryer combination to see if it will fit in the closet, and then have to order that. So, busy day. Hopefully I'll find some time to sit down and chat with you. Of course, it might be late in the evening, and it might be kind of dark to see. I might have to find my other ring light and use too for at night. But yeah, in the meantime, I'll see you again soon. Everybody, have a great day. Bye.